What is going on? Welcome back to Fanatic Journey. So today I want to talk about SoFi. There is a lot of good things happening to SoFi. I'm going to break it all down for you. Going to give you some updated data points, very relevant to a lot of investors, and tie it all together with some technical analysis at the end. But before I get into any of that, all I ask, smash a thumbs up, subscribe. You guys know the deal definitely by now. And also pop over to my Discord. It's a good place to be and a lot of good chat. With that said, let's get right to it. So as you can see on the intraday chart, very much positive. So a lot of growth stocks are definitely surging today. You can see on the live ticker to my left, currently at 4.17%, 11.9 million as far as overall volume, 47 the average, and 2.1 million shares being purchased by institutions and hedge funds just today alone. And definitely today is going to be a high volume day for SoFi, especially considering as well, we are only within the first 1 hour of the trading day. And when it comes down to institutions, like I said, based on the block volume column, a lot of institutions are still buying at these levels because it is absolutely insanely cheap, in my own personal opinion at least. But I do strongly feel this is going to be an ongoing catalyst, more so from now until basically the first week of May, is 13Fs, institutions disclosing their positions. And retail investors get a lot of satisfaction and reassurance by knowing that a lot of big names are adding to their position. So looking right here, just going to sort this based on the share quantity, the big names, SoftBank, Vanguard, also BlackRock, a big name out there. BlackRock recently did add 63% to their position on SoFi. So I do anticipate the next round of 13Fs is going to show the same thing. And when it comes down to it, a lot of these big names are at the beginning of May. So this is going to be a very exciting time. But all of that aside, there is actually a nice change of events that is happening. A lot of articles are oddly very bullish, especially considering a lot of us are used to nothing but bearish articles for SoFi. But when it comes down to it, I've always said Wall Street has always had a very difficult time putting a price on innovation and technology. SoFi has both of those attributes, but right here, it's risky to not own shares of SoFi. Even myself, I did buy in at $8.10, got a little bit lower of an average because this is absolutely insane. And I really like Anthony's tweet recently where it ultimately does say, I have not sold a share even though it's my compensation because I am confident in our company and the value we will create for shareholders over time. Even more recently at the end of March, he bought in 6 times, massive amount of purchases done by Anthony. So I really like that. And when it comes down to it though, what Anthony actually said here and also his purchases is exactly what a CEO that does support their company do. And also I just want to show you this as well. So analysts haven't always really liked SoFi. I'm sure that's more so an understatement and we all know that. But looking right here, analysts typically like to give very conservative price targets. So even given that circumstance, $14.35 is the average, which represents a 93% return on investment. So I don't see any other company as far as anywhere close to that. Even on the high end, even if you think $22 is going to come, that is a 196% increase. So that again, showing from a return on investment standpoint, is absolutely insane. This is why a lot of people have been buying SoFi. If you have actually bought recently, give yourself a shout out in the comments below because you definitely deserve it. But when it comes down to it though, I'm just going to give you some updated data points. One of which is options activity. So options activity today hasn't always necessarily been the best. So it's only $64,000 worth of options being done with 0% positive. Keep in mind, these are fairly big orders as well. Yesterday, it was 38% positive with $1.38 million worth of options being done. So overall, when it comes down to it, you can even see based on the chart right here, since it has gone up, puts have been being purchased more and more. So that's something as well just to keep in mind. But the mere fact that we're actually going down right now shows hopefully that we are very close to the bottom. Again, I'm going to do a little bit more technical analysis at the end and give you a good representation on that. But when it comes down to it also, I just want to talk on shorts because SoFi has been very heavily manipulated on a lot of different fronts. Short interest is currently 19.72, up roughly about 2% from 1 week prior. Utilization is still at 100%. Day-by-day change has gone up 0.36%, which works out to be 1.25 million shares being additionally shorted. So definitely the shorts are very hesitant about this rally per se, but I do strongly feel that this rally is largely attributed to technicals. And looking at the cost to borrow, you can see the cost to borrow average, minimum, and max is all the exact same thing, insinuating only one broker is now offering SoFi to short. So again, whether that is a change of events, hopefully manipulation has been leaving SoFi, because I have been bringing up in a lot of videos and also tweets as well, cost to borrow minimum has often been negative, insinuating that brokers are actually paying people to short SoFi. So that's as well very interesting to know. And I'm just going to talk on some technical. So right now, the 50, 100, 200-day moving averages, Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic, and momentum. So despite everything, number of retail investors is down and has been down for the last little bit. I largely attribute that component to margin calls, because SoFi is a very hot stock. It's actually been trending on Wall Street Bets for the last several days. But when it comes down to it though, a lot of retail investors did go in big time on SoFi, and nobody anticipated us going down as much as we did. I personally even thought $9 was a low, and then when $8 came, then we did a nice little rally. But like I said, nobody anticipated it going down as much as this, and I have done a lot of polls on YouTube. So if you haven't already, make sure you do pop over to my community tab and do a lot of the polls, because it gives me a good representation of what you are doing and what people are thinking. But when it came down to it, I did a poll that asked if anyone has been margin called, and a majority of people, oddly enough, has said yes. So I do attribute that momentum being down as much as it is to the actual being margin called, people exiting out of their position entirely. Looking at stochastic as well, it is at 5, which is massively undervalued. When it comes down to it, it does show that it is currently oversold, very much so. No defined trend as of right now. Hopefully today, after what happens, it's going to correct that indicator in that regard. RSI is currently at 35, and looking on the actual chart, we are bouncing currently off of that and hopefully about to trend higher, make a new support level in my opinion, because when it comes down to looking at the Fibonacci, $8.05 is our next target that we need to watch for. Currently, we are between the S2 and the S1, so $6.81 to $8.05. So overall, though, if we can actually hold a very strong support level today, that will just be the first leg up on something very much good, because I do anticipate we are well overdue for a rally. So that's just my own 2 cents. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own due diligence at the end of the day. But when it comes down to it though, there's a lot of things that you cannot ignore, such as even Anthony's tweets, even positive articles coming out, and even more so on the technicals. Everything is showing as oversold. So in my own opinion, I think that this is the very much close to the bottom, if anything, or possibly was yesterday. So with that said, let me know your thoughts on SoFi in the comments below. And like I said, if you have been buying, give yourself a shout out in the comments below. If you haven't already, smash a thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. And if you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With all that said though, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on SoFi.